Hello, I'm back with the next review, and today I have the Arena Max. As you can see, it's all laid out. This is a massive playset, over 2 feet by 2 feet. It's, it's definitely a heck of a lot better than the old playset. It's mostly all plastic, rigid points. I don't know, you can see. Let me see if I can get the other hammer into view. You got one hammer. Oh, there they are, okay. Wasn't sure on the direction. Yeah, you can see the hammers. There's a little lever in the back here, and when you press that, it's got some punch to it, which is definitely a big improvement of the last one. I will say that when assembling, it's kind of easy and kind of not. It's a little bit of a mixture, because it's customizable to a point, but the problem is it's a lot harder to get in place than you might think. I mean, they do say it's easy assembly. It's 50-50, really. And I think there's a good chance you can actually break stuff here, because what you don't know is that each of these little pieces, all the arena floor and these spiked rails, they have little pins on them. I like to call them jellyfish pins because they resemble jellyfishes, or maybe an anchor pin if you want to call it that. They're pretty similar in shape to that, but I mean, they are customizable to a point. You could buy more than one and assemble it that way, but realistically, it's not as easy as it looks. It's very easy. I mean, if you saw Zachary Lytle's video on when he assembled it, he thought he broke something. He didn't. I think I did pretty much the same thing. I wouldn't imagine anybody else. I could imagine other people having similar issues. But it's very solid. I wouldn't recommend picking it up without having something underneath it. I mean, I've got some cardboard under here, and it's further supported by the air cleaner, but it's massive. It's a lot more to scale. In fact, you can fit 2 of these robots. I have both the build your own tank and the tombstone. They fit inside one of these squares. Let me tell you. That's how big this is. It's updated. I mean, this is all pretty well seamless. Maybe not entirely, but I mean, some things are maybe just a little bit off, but you won't really notice it or care all that much. And of course, one of the big features of this new arena are the screws, which are over here. You can put them anywhere you want, but I would recommend you make sure that you get it where you want it first. Like, lay it all out, because once you get past about, let's see, when you start assembling the floor, and you get past, like, I don't know, 4 pieces or so, you're going to have a harder time getting them apart. I think I've nearly broken one of the little tabs that helps hold this thing together. There's only like 4 in each corner here. And there's only 1 on each of these. The little corner bits over here are actually not assembled that way. You just slide them in place. In fact, the hammers, that's all there is. The instructions really don't tell you, but you kind of slide it into the corner, like that. There's little slots, that's where you want to aim for. But let me turn on the screws so you can see how they work. They're pretty noisy though, so you may not get a whole lot of appeal, but they do work. Yeah, they're very noisy, but once you actually, they will. See if I can get Tombstone here. You can see Tombstone is moving to a point. You can, with some effort, get a bot up on them. But realistically, I mean, I don't think you're going to have, it's not just going to do it by itself. You're going to have to probably do a little bit of work with it. But this is pretty solid. This is a big improvement. In fact, they just HEXBUG recently re-released the old arena with the Saw Blaze and Whiplash, and this arena with Saw Blaze and Whiplash. Now you have another option. It seems to be exclusive to the website, though. So you'll have to go there if you want to get either of those variants. But the new Tombstone, boy, let me tell you, I'm about to demonstrate it. It hits a lot harder. It's phenomenally harder. Let's see if I can find which remote it is. I think I got it. Okay, it's this one. There we go. You can tell, just from the noise, it's a lot louder. Whew. Yeah, definitely be careful when you're playing with it. Try not to have your fingers near the weapon. It hurts. Safe for the touch? I think not. If you're not, yeah, so there goes one panel, there goes the whole wedge in one hit. So this will give you a good little demonstration on what this bot can do. See if I can line it up here. A good hit on it. Yeah, it hits that hard. It's pretty impressive what it can do. I'll go another round here. See if I can. But trust me when I say this, I actually had it ricochet off 2 walls in this arena and go out of the arena on one hit. That's how powerful this new Tombstone is. It's a big improvement. Even the people that made this toy, the person that actually designed this version of Tombstone, said they upped the power on it, and you can tell. It may not look like it here. I mean, it's a lot better. The only downside is it does not run well upside down. Let me tell you. I can try. Let me get the weapon off for a sec. You can't see it that well, I don't think, unless I go really close. I mean, you can see it well there. I've got little bits of, I think little feet you put on furniture, under furniture, so it slides better. I put one of those, I cut it up and put it on the top so it runs better upside down. Because it really does not run, it'll keep going when you tell it to do something. It will keep going. And for the weapon, that's okay. But for driving, you're going to have trouble. It will struggle. I have noticed this makes a difference to a point. Yeah, I think it's stuck. Yeah. See, now it runs a little bit better. To a point. Yeah, the floor I have here is not very even. It's mostly because I think the, yeah, there we go. Yeah, see, it just moved beyond kind of sort of what I told it to do. But it's a big improvement over the originals. If you have the original, you're probably finding that the pieces don't stay on very well. Well, let me tell you. Turn this guy off for a sec. So you can see. There's one magnet, one set of magnets. Both the rear panels are like this. They are much better, much better. They also got all the sponsor logos on it. Let's see if I can get a good shot. This one just looks so much better. This is obviously, I think, based on the Bounty Hunters event, which is where Tombstone was in this configuration right here. And in case you're wondering why the back hasn't changed, I actually emailed HEXBUG and they said it would need a complete redesign, pretty much, to be updated to that method. Let me show you the top panel off. And then you can see those have magnets as well. That was not on the original, and it looks like it might be on the second release, the one that comes with Minotaur and the old playset with the black blade. That one looks like it has magnets as well. Looks like it hits a lot harder from what I've seen the reviews, but big improvement on this toy. And one thing I found interesting, there's writing on the top of the clear plastic panel. Interestingly enough, some people have said, I've had one person say they got one with both. So they have one version of this without the writing and one with it. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it. Apparently it gets very warm. I haven't seen that, but I have had the panels suffer damage. There is a difference with the electronics. I don't know if you noticed. The motor for the weapon is actually slightly smaller than the rest of the toy, of the other 2 motors, which I think may help with the power a little bit, but it's also, the weapon is a different shape. It's not the standard, chunky blade from before. It's actually got some notches taken out of it in the holes. It's a big improvement, as you saw there. I mean, I probably didn't demonstrate it as well, but it's pretty impressive. I like it. I mean, this is a much better version of Tombstone, which is my personal favorite robot now. But it's a big improvement over the original by far. I guess I'll move on to the tank. There's not much to say about the tank, because it's, oops, I hit the power button by mistake, which will be okay. But, I mean, realistically, it looks almost the same. But it does have a name. Let's see. Probably can't take this off without causing damage, but it's called Barnakill now. It actually has a name, so it's as if it's a combat robot in the show. It's kind of sort of unofficially labeled. But I mean, it still has the 2 removable pieces on top. It has a skull. Let's see. I'm probably going to have to get a screwdriver. I do need a screwdriver often to pull this guy off its mount. Just to kind of get it started. And then I'm usually able to pull it off pretty well. I don't know if I can get it off now. Let's see. There we go. There's the tank. See if I can get a good shot of the name. It's Barna Kills. Okay, it's a little bit different, but that's more than the original. And there's the skull on top. I think this is definitely a lot better. They kind of gave it a pirate theme. Other than that, I mean, there's not much to it. It looks pretty much the same, although the weapon will spin in a different direction than you might expect. Put the weapon back on, and we can see how this guy works. It's about the same, though. There we go. Yeah, you may not notice anything different here. But you can see, it's still capable of ripping panels off. And there goes the other one, and a pretty big hit. I went with the spinner because I'm a sucker for spinners, let's face it. I mean, those are way better. The side armor panels still come off, I think, too easily, but the weapon still hits pretty hard. Yeah, this was not, the spinner attachment was not included. It's pretty much exactly what you find in the original. Yeah, there goes the top plate, so... that's, there's not much to it. It still can't drive inverted, but this is the original. I'm going to also point out one other thing, in that you can actually take this off. And that's true with all the attachments. They can be disassembled. You can swap out this blade for the bar or whatever, if you have any of the accessory packs like the spinner, the flipper, whatever. They can be swapped, mix and match to some degree. You can't use it on everything. I mean, obviously, the tank, when you're using the spinner, the front attachments are taken up by the mount, the extra set of pins there. So it's not. You can't do very much with that bit, unfortunately. It's a minor setback, but it stays in place really well. I've not had it come off or anything. But let me tell you, $120 or $150 if you get the Arena Max Platinum with Saw Blades and Whiplash, it's worth it. It's phenomenal. I'd say definitely recommend this set. There is a variant though. I have seen one variant of this playset, other than before this set was released, the Rivals re-releases with Saw Blades and Whiplash were released. There was a variant with Bite Force where the hammers are actually a different shape. They're more like the original shape. As far as I can tell, looks about the same, but it seems to be an Australian exclusive. Casey's Toys, I think, has it listed, but it's no longer for sale. It was on eBay, and that was my first find of it there. So, yeah, that's my review on the BattleBots Arena Max. Thanks for watching.